You grew up in Iran. Tell me about your life there.
Well, I grew up as a normal Muslim man, in a Muslim family, in a Muslim country. But I was born in a city near of where Abraham was born, Ur of Chaldea, just a few hours away, which is in the border of Iraq and Iran. But due to the war of Iran and Iraq, so we have to flee the city and go to the capital of Iran. And then I grew up as a normal Muslim, but I really loved Quran and especially reciting Quran.
Well, that's very big in the many Muslim countries like Iran.
Yeah, that's right. So I began to recite behind a closed door. My mom and dad doesn't know. My family doesn't know.
Why would you do that behind closed doors? I mean, Muslim family, Muslim country?
So not closed door in the house, that I was feeling ashamed that,
Really?
people, my mom and dad said, oh, what are you doing? So, because you have to shout, you have to raise your voice when you recite the Quran.
Okay.
Right? So, when I recite the Quran, then I began to also memorize the Quran. And then it's interesting when from the early childhood, I was saying something against Christian that I did not know. Beginning of every chapter of Quran, it says, Lam yalad wa lam yulad. It means he doesn't beget and he doesn't have a son. Not knowing that I was against Christian. But anyhow, I just grew up as a normal man and then study and then end up being in United Arab Emirates with a family business.
Did you have any connection with Christians at that time?
No connection at all. I just knew that Jesus is a prophet because they taught us that Jesus is a prophet. But it's interestingly, they also taught us that Jesus will come back to judge the world, but with someone whose name is my name, Mehdi, judge the world, according to the Shia Muslim. But Sunni doesn't believe that. But my journey is interesting, but when I was in Dubai, I have to go back to Malaysia for a business trip.
And what kind of business were you in?
It's just a family business. My brother started to import and export some goods, into Dubai and, vice versa. And then I have to stay in Malaysia for 3 months. And then my brother left me with a lady, Malay Indian. I was not married yet. That was in 1998. And I was accidentally went to the church.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
From what I understood, she was kind of saying, hey, you got to come to church. You don't want to offend.
Yeah.
So you end up going to church.
That's right, yeah. So I end up going to the church. And then I did not have any clue that I will live in Canada. No clue at all. But interestingly, the guy that they were there, they were husband and wife, mid-60s, 70s, from Canada. They were a guest pastor in Malaysia.
Right, yeah.
And then at the end of the service, my friend, the lady friend, said, would you like to ask these guys, to pray for you and stuff like that? And then I approached. I was not good in English during that time, so very slow and stuff. But these guys came and they prayed for me. But they prayed, they prophesied, in a sense.
This is my experience I found with Muslim people here in Canada, and I have many friends from Muslim backgrounds, is that when you ask, can I pray for you, they're very receptive.
That's right, yeah.
And so you were receptive.
Yeah, I think no one rejects prayer. No one rejects prayer. So in that moment, they said, I said, okay, I believe in Jesus Christ as a prophet, because they asked me if you believe in Jesus. I said, I believe him as a prophet. So, okay, can we pray for you? They prayed for me. They said, you will go back to your own country, but you will not stay there. You'll go to an Arab country. We pray that God will meet you there in that Arab country.
You're in this church. This Canadian pastor, he's a guest pastor, is praying for you, saying you're going to go to an Arab country. And what were you thinking? Like, what's this guy talking about?
No, I just ignore those words. I ignored it till the time that I met a Muslim who became a Christian in Dubai, in United Arab Emirates. And not knowingly, I was also carrying a Bible because a lady in Malaysia gave me that gift. So I don't want to break her heart. I took the Bible, but it was an English Bible. So I started reading the Bible because I want to learn English.
Okay.
Not knowing about the Bible, learning English. But she also gave me a tape, a recording tape from a pastor, African pastor. And the name of the sermon was Leaving Your Past Behind. And then I was listening to that tape all over again to learn English.
So was it a spiritual journey as far as you knew?
Yeah.
You're just learning English.
Yeah, that's right. So I brought the Bible, not the Bible, I brought the tape with me from my own country to an Arab country, and I was listening to it until the time that I met a lady. I became friends, and then eventually we got married. She was from Philippines and
Catholic background, yeah.
Catholic background, and my family were against this marriage because this is the first time happening in our family history that someone's getting married with non-Muslim. And then during this course of time, they were against it because they thought that Lucille, my wife, made me a Christian, but it was vice versa.
She was, we'd say, nominal Christian?
Nominal Catholic.
Didn't really
No,
believe, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't have any.
I mean, many of our Catholic friends have a strong faith, but she was nominal.
Yeah, she was nominal, not going to the church and stuff. But we met a couple, Mark and Malu, and Mark was a Muslim background, atheist, and then become Christian. And then Malu also was Catholic and become Christian, And then both of them actually invited us to their house and then serving us food and stuff. And then when I came to know that Mark is a Christian and he used to be a Muslim, then I become furious, angry that why he became Christian. So I have to go and study Islam and, research and ask the mullahs and imam. And during that time, I was also in a Shia Muslim. In a certain time, you go to a mosque and then they call it Ashura, and then you go there and then to lead some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're bringing them to the mosque. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in the mosque leading 50, 60 people, and they are beating themselves for a dead imam.
Wow. And so you eventually, though, after studying and maybe comparing the Bible to the Quran, you came to some conclusions that would change your life.
Yeah, that's right. So they gave me a Jesus movie based on Book of Luke. I watched the movie over and over again, and every time I watched, I cry. And then I started reading the Bible because my intention was to bring Mark back to Islam. It took me 3 months. That struggle because the moment I go to Mark's house, there is an atmosphere which I can call it right now is a love atmosphere that zip my mouth that I can't talk to Mark anymore regarding Islam and Christianity and stuff. But he was talking to me and he was praying for me. And then, long story short, he brought his pastor to our house, and then I said to the pastor, I'm confused, I can't reject Islam, I can't reject Christianity, I can't deny Christianity as well. So I will accept both religion because they talk about God and stuff. And he said, no, it should be one, because there is contradiction, between these two. So he said, why don't you pray? And then I said, okay, in Islam we pray 5 times a day. You have to memorize the prayer. You can talk to God in your own language. It's an Arabic prayer. Every Muslim knows that they have to memorize that Arabic prayer. And then I close my prayer, look at the ceiling. I said, in my own language, I said, God, show me the truth. Show me the truth. I decided not to pray after 2 days, but I came back again. I came back to my Muslim prayer. I finished my prayer. My wife just going to bed, with her own prayer and stuff. So, two different perspective in the house, living there. And then I prayed the same prayer. I said, God, show me the truth. I want to know the truth. Which one is the truth? I said, God, I'm reading the Bible. I can't deny this is the love of God in it. And I can't deny my Islamic faith as well. I grew up in that.
You were torn.
Yeah, I grew up in that. And then I have to deal with the rejection, the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection from the family, from the government, losing friends and stuff, to follow one man who worth everything in the world. I have to deal with that battle. I said, God, show me the truth. And then I went to sleep, and then I had a dream. And when I woke up from that dream, I felt the presence of the Lord behind me, pushing me forward, saying, Mehdi, go forward and do not look back.
And you have not turned back since.
I have not turned back.
You're pastoring now. You're leading people to Jesus.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's inspiring. God is doing amazing things in the Muslim world, in your country, Iran. It's phenomenal what we're seeing. And again, thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, no problem.